welcome back to Foodie Friday episode 3. My name is Maya. I am the blogger of Love Station, but that doesn't really matter. What matters here today is what we're doing. We're doing a vegan fast food taste test, and I am beyond excited. God, I hate myself. So to start, we're going to do a breakfast round for round 1, and then we have like a plethora of burgers and a sandwich for the second round. Thank you, Subway. So without further ado, we're going to start. So the first one we have here is Starbucks. It is their cheddar Beyond sausage, and it's like a sunny side up egg. I don't really know how you would describe it, but it's just like a standard like patty and then the egg and cheese. So we're going to give her a whirl. Dum, dum, dum. The first thing I will say is like the flavor is there. I can't really, personally speaking, like I've been a vegetarian for a long time, so I've never really like had a true authentic sausage. So I think the taste is pretty similar. Like there's definitely like a smoky flavor. The consistency, it's not too tough, but it's not like soft either. Like there's like a nice crunch to it when you take a bite, if that makes sense. The flavor of the egg is there. The cheddar, like it's just kind of on the bottom. I don't know if you can really like see that, but it's just kind of like a cheddar crisp on the bread. Like it's not too overpowering. It's just like a very mild flavor. And overall, like it's pretty good. I think the patty here is like very thick. Like it has some weight to her. It's like very hefty, which is nice because I mean the main attraction in here is the patty, so that's a nice touch that it's very thick and it's like present. Bread is good. Not too much to say. It's just like a basic like English muffin-esque thing. It's like pretty standard, but overall it's good. I'm a fan of Starbucks. Like I'm gonna give it a 7.5. Like I find like the flavor is there. It's not like too overpowering on any level. And it's reassuring to me, this one at least, because like obviously fast food you can take off something, but with this one like it isn't frozen. You can't take off the cheese or the egg to make it like fully vegan, which is nice. Or if you just don't like cheese or lactose or you're not a fan of egg, like you can remove the ingredients. So it's actually like nice. And yeah, overall 7.5, like pretty basic. It's like standard, it's good. I'm gonna flip that because you didn't see my bite marks, but it's great. Okay. For the second one here is from A&W. Actually, both of these are from A&W. So that's a fun fact. This one is an English muffin, and sorry, there's cheese. It's the Beyond sausage, and then there's an egg. This one is actually called the Beyond sausage and egger. So if you want to order it, that's like what the actual menu item is called. Just based on like a first impression in comparison to that one, it feels like fluffier. It doesn't feel as like firm. Like the bread one and that one felt firm. This one feels fluffy. So we're gonna give it a try. The bread is definitely more overpowering here. And so is the cheese. Like the sausage is a lot more disguised. It's also a lot like smaller in size. It might have just cooked it for longer and that's why, but in comparison to the first one, not that they need to be compared, they're all pretty on their own, but it definitely is a lot smaller. And the cheese is more apparent, and so is the egg. Like within them, so is the bread. Like they're all like overpowering. It isn't just like the sausage is the main attraction. Like they all give like a nice sense of flavor in there. It feels more like a breakfast sandwich to me. Like I would imagine if I ate meat and I went for like a fast food item, like this would be something which I would enjoy. And once again, to make it vegan, you can, I would imagine, take off the cheese and egg. Yeah, I'm gonna give this one an 8. I think like the flavor comes through more. It feels more like a breakfast sandwich to me, and the bread was softer. Like it has like a nice like pillowy texture to it. Okay, we're gonna try A&W's second option, which is a veggie sandwich with a Beyond. My head just blinked. We're gonna try that again. It's a veggie sandwich with a Beyond burger, and it's on an English muffin or Beyond patty, whatever you want to call it. There's no cheese on here, and it's really just the patty and vegetables, which to me is nice because if you are a vegan, I'm pretty sure the English muffin is vegan. This is like one option which you don't need to customize, and if you're vegetarian and you're not a fan of egg and cheese or want something lighter, I imagine this would be a good option. It's definitely a lot fresher, and it's like a lot lighter of the option. And the one thing here is like the sausage flavor really comes through because bread and vegetables isn't something that can like really outshine a patty. So it's nice. You definitely get like a really nice smoke flavor coming through. Patty is a good size. Like the bunch ratio is like pretty good. Like it actually fits like really well in your hand, and it's like a good portion size. I don't think it's like too big to be filling. Like I think if I ate these two, like I would be full for like a long period of time. But I think if I ate this one, I would be able to like eat like a full on lunch that day versus like these two, I think I would be full for longer. It's definitely lighter. There's more of a kick here. I think like it's spiced, so you can actually like feel the flavor, whereas the egg and cheese like really disguise it. I like it. It's fresh, it's fun, it's light, and I think it's 100% vegan. So I think like for this one, I'm gonna give it an 8.5 just because it promises, it's like true to what it says, like it is a fully vegan thing. And it doesn't need a disguise, like it's good on its own. So I think if I had to pick a favorite for this round, I probably would go with this one. Like it's actually like it's a perfect breakfast sandwich for I think like vegetarian vegans. Like it did hold up to its own. But for the sake of like being most like compatible and like true to its word, I probably would give it to this one. So without further ado, we're going to switch to round 2, and I will see you shortly. We're doing round 2. It's a lot of bread and meat on the table, which is what everyone loves. Am I right, ladies? Okay. We're going to get started, so don't embarrass myself any further. And the first one we're going to start with is Wendy's. It's over here. She's a cute little girl. This is the Plantiful. That's actually what it's called on the menu. It's the Beyond Sauces patty, and it comes with lettuce, cheese, tomatoes, onions, ketchup, and mayo, from what I can tell. We're obviously going to try her. Just on first impression, like the bun is glossy. It feels like nice and soft. It's like pillowy, similar to the first one. Seems like you can get like a pretty like perfect bite with everything. Like it isn't over layered. It's not like too thick. It's perfect. The cook on the patty seems a bit like well done, but I think we're still going to give it a try. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. It's pretty good. Like it's not, once again, like I think there's a theme here. Like nothing is really too overpowering. I also forgot to mention there's onions on here and pickles, but the theme like over here is like it's not too overpowering. Like it's a nice flavor. It's pretty light. And obviously, like anywhere you go, you can take off what you don't like. So it really does like fit whatever you feel like. If you want tomatoes, don't, pickles, whatever. Cheese, you can make it completely vegan, take off the mayo. Like it actually, like it feels pretty good. It feels pretty light. It isn't like too overpowering, and it's not like too dense, which I like. Like I feel like sometimes if I eat like a burger, like a veggie burger, vegan, etc., like or whatever, I sometimes feel like too full. But this actually feels like pretty light. Like I wouldn't need to like feel like bloated after, or I wouldn't feel like I need to like drink a lot of water because there's too much salt. Like it's actually like a pretty good and like natural flavor. If that makes any sense. If it can even be natural, but it's not too heavy is the point of what I'm saying. Next, this is the Aroma Power Burger. So if you don't know what Aroma is, I like to describe it as like a Jewish deli is the best way I would describe it. Like they have salads, they have soups, sandwiches, they have like 24-hour breakfast that you can get. And they have like a nice selection of like coffees, iced teas, and like unique drinks. They started in Israel, which is like a fun fact, and then they brought them to Canada. And I think they might have them in America, but I'm not entirely sure. But they have a power burger. It's definitely fancier than the rest of the ones that we have here. There's guac, and there's like a tomato pesto on here. We have some arugula. Oh my lord, I'm so sorry. Wow. There are mushrooms which just fell out, as you can see. God, I'm doing good. Why am I not a model? Why am I not hired? God. And we have some fresh onions. So we're going to take that out because I'm a model and I'm always pretty. And we're going to give her a bite. The burger is cooked really well. It's like a nice medium. Like the first one was like a touch more well done, but this has like a nice cook throughout. Nice tang. Ignore my messy hands. Really nice tang. Like the avocado or guac adds like a nice touch. And the pesto is great. The mushrooms don't really like add or take away anything. Sorry, I'm just gonna wipe my face. I kind of just think like they're there, but they're nice. They add like a nice new texture, consistency, and the bun is nice too. Like it's a nice soft bun. It feels like glossy. It isn't stale in anywhere. Like it's nicely like crisp on the edges. Overall, like it's actually pretty good. I realized I forgot to rate the first one, so we're gonna give that like a 7. This one I'm gonna give an 8.5. I personally find the flavors a bit more gourmet, and so I think that personally, like I would gravitate towards something like this. Like it just like has a fresher feel to it and not like a stereotypical diner burger. To break up the burgers, we're gonna try Subway. Seems like a good middle point to try it. So this is Subway's. I originally was gonna get the Beyond Meatball, but with everything happening right now, they didn't have it in stock, which is fine. So I just got their veggie patty. I got it with Italian bread, which is what the Beyond sausage would have come with, so it is vegan. There is cheddar cheese on here, their veggie patty, and then as toppings, I got like a honey mustard aioli type situation happening, lettuce, pickles, tomato, and onions. So I kept it like relatively burger-esque. I didn't go too crazy just to kind of try it. I'm actually just gonna go over this plate, I'm sorry. The first thing I would say is like there too is a nice like softer tang here. Like the honey mustard is a nice compliment to it. And the other thing is like you really don't need the cheese. Like I just got it with cheese, but if you are vegan, don't like cheese, really don't need it. Adds a nice crunch with the vegetables. Like the bread is nice and toasted. Like really nothing bad to say about it. It's just like a solid sandwich, and I would definitely like get it for a lunch break or anything. Once again, like I wouldn't feel gross after eating it. Like there is really nothing like gross about it. It's just like a pretty good, like decent sandwich, and it's nice. So I'm gonna give it like a 7.5 out of 10. Like it's solid. There's nothing special or like bad about it. It's just kind of like one note in a good way. Like it's a veggie patty on bread with like vegetables and cheese and honey mustard. Like it's not wow, but it's not like bad. Like it's a good classic option. Pardon me. All right, we're going to try the Harvey's one next. So this is Harvey's. Say hey. Just from an initial like perspective, like the patty does seems like very crisp on the edges, and like the vegetable here are like pretty okay. She kind of fell apart, but there's mustard on here, and then there was ketchup, pickles, tomatoes, and lettuce. So like there's no cheese on it, so it already comes like vegan-fied, if you want to call it that way. So we're gonna give her a try. So just as a fun fact, the patty is called Light Life, so it's not technically a Beyond Burger. And apparently it's rumored to be like a healthier option. It's definitely the slimmest option here calorie-wise, but we're not counting those today. So I would say like it's pretty good. The flavor comes through. I definitely think this is like a heavier option. Like in comparison to the other three that we've tried, it definitely is heavier. But that's not a bad thing. It just means like it's like heartier. So like if you eat this, like I think you'll be fuller for a long period of time. Where the rest of these, they can kind of coast by. They're pretty light. The toppings are nice. I wouldn't say like they add anything. Like I would personally, with this one, I would recommend getting cheese on it just based on the patty alone. But it can stand on its own. Like once again, vegan, don't like cheese, anything of that sort, lactose, forgot your pills, whatever. Like it can stand alone. In terms of toppings, like this is what I just got it with, but obviously you can take off anything if you don't like mustard or onions, you are picky with tomatoes, don't like pickles, all that jazz. You can get it as you like it. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Like I'm not in love with it, but I would order it like if I was going there or I was with people who wanted to. So that would be my pick. Sorry, I just got distracted for a second. Yeah, but overall like 6 out of 10, pretty solid. Not the best, not the worst, just kind of like one note in a good way. But that's the wrap on that. Okay, now we're gonna try Burger King. I would never shame a patty, but if I'm being quite honest, in comparison, the patty is relatively like thin, just to give like a analysis. And the toppings are like pretty basic, like it's lettuce, tomato, onion, and ketchup. Like there's nothing too fancy about it. Just gonna take that off, and now we're gonna give it a try. Oh, just before I do, like there's onion on here, which I forgot to mention, and oh my lord, the bun is like pretty solid. Like it's not glossy or anything, it's just kind of like soft. For reference, this is called the BK Veggie Burger. The flavor is honestly pretty good. Like despite the appearance, which doesn't look bad, it just makes it look like a classic diner burger. Like, sorry, pardon me. The flavor is definitely like there. The burger definitely like can stand alone. It doesn't really need anything. Like it's pretty flavorful on its own. Whatever they season it with is great. And like the vegetables add a nice crunch. The bread is fine. Like it's a good vehicle for the bread. And the ratio is pretty like spot on. Like it fits. I cut it poorly, but that's on me. So yeah, I'm gonna actually give it like a 7, maybe like a 6.5. Cause like the flavor's there, it's good. I personally like it's It's also one note for me. Like, it's just like a patty with bread and vegetables, but it is pretty good if you want that kind of thing. And it's a nice, light option. I wouldn't say like it's the heaviest thing in the world, just like it's not the lightest thing in the world, but it's a good in between. Like, if you were to run a marathon, which I would never do, obviously you're not supposed to eat fast food before, but this could be like an option where it wouldn't like overfill you up, but you would be able to do the run. That's kind of how I would describe it. Okay. Hello. Last but not least is A&W. This is the first queen of a beauty pageant here other than aroma. The mayo is like very generously spread, and the lettuce is nice. The tomato is really freaking red and beautiful, and like the pickles are crinkle cut. I don't know if you can kind of see them over here, but they're like actually very pretty. And so there's onion on the bottom, and then there is mustard as well and ketchup. So there's no cheese. Comes relatively like vegan friendly minus the mayo. You can add cheese to it if you want to. And I'm just going to move the lettuce back. But the fun fact about this one is that you can put like this Beyond patty on anything. So like wherever you go, like whatever burger you want, you can like replace it. And I think that goes for all of them. I know specifically these two do it. And we're going to give her a whirl. Aside from the aroma one, I think this one has the best flavor. I know they put their A&W seasoning on the burger, and I think that really adds something special. Like the rest of them just kind of have like the basic like Beyond flavoring or veggie burger flavoring. But this one actually has like a kick to it, which is nice. The vegetables are crisp, they're fresh, they feel very fresh, and like there's a nice flavor on here that's like not too overpowering, minus the lettuce just falling off. And it doesn't need cheese, it's a good standalone. So overall, like I would probably give this like an 8.5 out of 10. I think out of all of them here, minus that one, it actually is probably the best one we've tried. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I do, and I hope you try some of them too. I am looking forward to seeing you guys next week for Foodie Friday, and I hope you're staying healthy and safe.